Okay. So today we're gonna talk about true crime. True crime. I know we're both in forensics, so
Yes.
obviously there's some love for like true crime. But do you find yourself watching documentaries at all, like outside of class?
Yeah, like a few, like a couple. I think I'm definitely more into the Monsters series where they did like Ed Gein and
Fair enough.
Menendez brothers and Jeffrey Dahmer. I think I'm more into those, but yeah, like I've seen the O.J. Simpson case.
That was a really good one. Really good one.
I think that's the most recent one.
Yeah, that's fair. I love the Monsters series. I think it goes like a really deep dive into like their personalities and like their character traits and kind of so you understand like how they grew up and stuff. So you know how like why they kind of did what they did. So it was kind of interesting to see that. And then like OJ, it just kind of brought up like it was such a big case. Like how are you not gonna bring it up in a documentary? Like it was so good. And then it just really shows you like what you don't see from like internet and stuff like that as well.
And I think like the TV shows, what I love about it so much is obviously like documentaries are more, I guess, fact based, and you get a lot of the case and a lot of the trial part of it. But these TV shows that they're coming out with, it really just shows the perspective of whoever they're making it about, and it just feels more personal and it feels more human, which is like funny that the show is called Monsters because it shows them in such a human light.
Yeah, and I think that some things that people kind of tend to forget, like when watching these documentaries, is that there were real people involved. Like obviously, like it may be fun to watch, but in reality, at the end of the day, like real people were killed. Real people did this to other real people, so it's just kind of hard to, I think, swallow that pill that like, wow, like someone was capable of doing this to someone, and making it less about, wow, this was really good to watch, and more about, wow, like someone really did this to someone else.
Like you realistically are just looking at someone who is dead and was killed in a brutal way.
I think that's scary, just kind of like, I love watching, I'm a sucker for true crime, I love watching them just because I'm like so invested in like forensics and stuff like that, but it's just like, it's so interesting to see like how these detectives and stuff process it, but then it's like, you kind of forget that you're like dealing with like a real person's life and like someone's like family member or something like that, so it's just hard, I think, to sometimes put that line. It's easy to forget, lines, like the lines get blurred. Pretty easily.
Yeah. And I think, especially within taking forensics, it's altered my perception of everything. Like, I would watch these documentaries of these cases and just like listen to true crime podcasts. And obviously, before I took forensics, it was like, oh yeah, this is so crazy, this is so crazy. But then after taking it, it sort of just changed the way that I think about these people. And especially how people handle the cases, like the investigators, it's just so like, why do you do what you do? And that's not a question that I think I thought about before.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. I've thought like similar things. It's just kind of like you learn like the correct way, like you're learning how to do everything like step by step and the right processes to do things. And then you watch all these shows, like especially watching OJ, like watching how they messed up so many different like collection evidence, like proper securing of the scene, like how they messed up on so many crucial things that ultimately led to OJ Walker.
Yeah, and it's even murders. It's things that you hear about and you're like, I don't even have to take a class. I don't have to be a professional. I don't have to be a police officer to know that what these officers did could not have been correct. Because it's like insane how terribly they handled O.J. Simpson's case.
And I think the media played another big part into that. Like obviously OJ was a super duper popular football star, and then like he's randomly accused of killing his ex-wife. Like the media is so quick to throw assumptions and stuff out there, and like and ultimately I think it like throws investigators off. Like like you're dealing with such a high profile case that like obviously, like, you're gonna feel inclined to mess up because, like, you don't want to mess up, but
Yeah.
like you're gonna feel inclined, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to mess up. You're gonna overthink it so much that, like, it's just eventually gonna happen.
And yeah, with such high profile cases, it's like all these cameras are on you as an investigator, and it's like you have to get it done ASAP. Like, if you can't process your evidence basically within like the same day, then your intelligence as an investigator is going to be questioned. And so then that's like, oh, I have to hurry, I have to get this evidence out there. So you're inclined to again mess up more, which obviously messes up the entire case, leading to someone who could possibly be incredibly guilty walking because you were pressured and you messed up the evidence.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly such like a big misconception that like you can't rush this type of stuff. Like, it's such an intricate process that if you rush it, you're already messing it up.
Yeah.
Something's automatically gonna go wrong, and so I don't think people realize how intricate it is to like work crime scenes and try and like be a detective trying to figure out like how to properly handle this stuff, like what actually happened, instead of just like letting your bias take over and like, oh, this is what I think happened.
And I think it's so crazy that people have just like this misconception that it's so quick to like get evidence from the crime scene to the lab, to have it processed, to all of a sudden it's on court. And like, it's crazy to have that misconception. But honestly, I can't blame people when even TV shows that like we talked about, they show this sort of thing that, yeah, that's true. Like, they sort of are like, oh no, yeah, evidence is handled from one investigator, and that specific investigator takes it to the lab, and that investigator tests it in the lab, and they can have it in court on the same day. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's like the CSI effect. It's such a crazy phenomenon that like it skewed so many people's perspectives on how like the criminal justice system and like forensics actually works. No one person is working on the scene, collecting the evidence, taking pictures in the lab, testing evidence, analyzing it. Like, no one investigator is doing all of that. Like, you can't be possibly trained to do every single thing on a crime scene. So I think it's just so crazy that some people really think that like, wow, like they didn't have this done, like they didn't get this, like they don't have immediate answers for these questions, like what, they're doing this so wrong, when in reality it's like, this doesn't take one day, it doesn't take an hour, it could take up to weeks, even up to months. Like, even like some cases are still trying to be solved because of how intricate like the details were on the scene.
Yeah, like shows like CSI, yes, they're so interesting to watch, but it is so imperative that you just like sort of take how they handle cases with a grain of salt. Like, yes, they can be so incredibly just amazing to watch. Like, they bring me so much joy too. But I also have to understand when I'm looking at something that's happening in real life, obviously a TV show is not exactly like real life. So yeah, the CSI effect, just drawing the line between, oh, this TV show has these people just doing these things so quickly, and real life, some investigations take years to develop. And it's so many people working on a team, and even investigators, is like, one investigator cannot be an expert in everything in forensics. That's impossible. That's insane. So it's like, just understanding everybody's role in the forensics world, I think, is more important than people truly understand.
Yeah, and I think like even this effect, like it carries on even into like courts and criminal proceedings, you know. Like when they see these shows, it's like, yeah, like we found this hair and this hair was proven to be his, and then it's like, well, we only have circumstantial evidence, and it's like, well, where's all the physical evidence? Like, you know, so it's like people are just automatically assuming that because it's circumstantial, like it's not still proving a fact, you know? And you have a lot of circumstantial evidence, like if you don't have any physical evidence, like how are you gonna, like what are you gonna do? You have to go off of what's being presented, and just because you don't have that doesn't mean like the investigators didn't try to get it. Like obviously they're trying to find evidence to put this person away, you know, to like find out what really happened, but like just because it's not presented doesn't mean that like it's not like everything that is presented isn't important. It's all super duper important to the case, and the fact that some people still think that it's like, oh, like you didn't get all of this, like you only got a hair and a fingerprint, like what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
Like you think it's this person just because of that? Like yes, like there's still things you can look at with the hairs and the fingerprints and like DNA and stuff like that. Like you can still find people based off of that, and then it's like alibis, witness testimonies, like. So what are you going to believe? Are you going to believe what you've seen on TV? When obviously the whole reason it's on TV is to try and get you to watch it. You know, they're trying to boost their sales and stuff like that. So obviously they're going to make it interesting. So are you going to believe what's on TV and what's like fake and scripted and like a script, literally like a written script? Or are you going to believe like science?
Yeah.
You can't disprove science. It's so hard to try and disprove it, especially in the field of forensic science.
Yeah. Because, well, yeah. In forensic science, you're kind of, obviously you're dealing with life and death, like someone, like a homicide or just any manner of death, but also like you're dealing with life and incarceration for someone that could possibly be innocent. Like there is a whole project dedicated to people who are innocent, but they were tried and mistried, and they got sent to jail for such long periods of times because there wasn't enough forensic science dealt in whatever was going on. And it's just, I think it's very hard to have people who definitely believe in the CSI effect in courts because they have all these preconceptions from watching all these documentaries and listening to all these podcasts, and they're using that knowledge that they have to kind of dictate how they decide people's lives, basically, in real life.
Yeah.
And it's such a hard distinction to make.
I know, and it's really sad to see, because some of these people even put, like, when the death penalty was still, like, a thing, you know? These people were put to death, some people were executed just because of, like, small pieces of evidence, or, like, even, like, no evidence at all. Like, they're like, oh, like, there's no physical evidence that proves it was him, or like there is like this small circumstantial stuff, so it's just like, oh my gosh, they've seen this on TV, like obviously they're guilty. It's just so hard for people to like automatically assume that when it comes to one's livelihood. You know, like you're making like people think that jury duty, like yeah, it may suck, but like to be like you're there to ultimately decide the fate of a person. You know, like do you truly believe based on what you're being presented if this person killed someone or not, you know, like, or did the crime or whatever, you know? So it's just kind of hard to see people still think that, like, after these attorneys and stuff, like detectives, they found all this evidence, they processed all of it, you know, like, they have the facts that are right there, and you're either going to put them away or you're not, just because you're not seeing what you want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm very grateful to be able to take this forensics class that kind of, in a way, I guess I would say it keeps me grounded in like this scientific backing or whatever, because it is just like we are constantly talking about in class like what we're talking about now, like the CSI effects, Innocence Project, just it's basically just like a reality check. And I think that's important for people. You don't have to take a forensics class to stay connected to the reality.
Yeah,
that,
definitely not. Oh my goodness.
What you're watching is not the same as what is going on in court. Like, am I saying, oh, don't watch or don't listen to like true crime? No, I love true
exactly.
crime.
We love it. Oh my goodness.
It's just stay grounded, stay educated, stay realistic.
Yeah, and don't be biased. Oh my goodness, that's literally like the biggest thing I think when it comes to court, criminal justice proceedings, literally anything. Like, yes, you can have like watch this and stuff, but you're not an expert. You know, you can't go into this court and be like, I've watched 30 episodes of CSI. I know what I'm talking about. No! Oh my goodness, you have to say, you have to have an open mind. So many things, especially when there's two sides working against each other. You have your defense attorney and your attorney. Like they're trying to go against each other to try and win their client, like the case, you know. So it's like one side's gonna say this, the other side's gonna say that. What are the facts showing you? Which
Yes.
way are the facts pointing you? It's not, oh my gosh, I know everything, so they're wrong. No,
Yeah.
like you have to see like what the facts are saying and if it lines up with like what actually happened. Like obviously, like you've seen these shows and you're like, that's not right. Like how did you get this if there was no like this or that on the scene or whatever? But like you just have to have that open mind. It's so important. I think that's like the biggest takeaway from like if you're gonna have true crime, like watch it. You have to have that open mind if you ever get picked for court or criminal proceeding, or else because you're dealing with someone's life, you know. And some people are wrongly convicted. Like there's still so many people incarcerated that are wrongly convicted of crimes they didn't commit.
Absolutely. It's just just stay realistic, stay educated, stay educated. And that really is the biggest takeaway. Just stay educated. In like yes, true crime, but everything, stay educated.
Yeah, just stay educated in life. But I think it's okay to watch true crime.
Yeah.
You know, just be realistic, stay educated.
Stay educated.
I think that's it for this episode.
Okay. Thank you. And join us again next time.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.
Peace, love, goodbye.
Oh my goodness. Okay. How long is this?
I don't know. Do you think it was higher or lower? I think it was lower.
I think it was lower. What should be like an hour?
17 minutes.
Okay.
So we were like